This defensive scheme has helped me go 54-13 online. With insane blitzes and lockdown coverage, this defense has it all. Let's get into it. So this is in the multiple D playbook, and we will be first in the 3-4 formation, going over the plays pinch buck 0 and cover 4 drop. We will be using these plays together to disguise the coverage and the blitz so that our opponent never knows what is coming. The first play is pinch buck 0, and this is a nasty blitz that is super easy to set up. But before you call the play, make sure that the alignment is set to default. And the first thing you will do in the play is QB contain your DNs, then user the linebacker manned up on the running back. And to make this blitz fire on all cylinders, you want to make sure to stand over the A gap to make the offensive line think you are blitzing, which will open up gaps for other rushers. And you will see that once the ball is snapped, there will be a free rusher disrupting the QB in a matter of seconds. No matter if you block a running back or not, this blitz is lethal. But let's talk coverage. Because we are all out man blitzing, we will have nobody to help over the top. Knowing this, you may want to keep your secondary backed off to avoid getting beat by deep routes. Or if you do want to press your whole secondary, you can individually back off players that may be a mismatch like I did here versus AJ Brown. And the way you can back off players individually is by pressing Y, A, and then you can choose the receiver you want to adjust coverage to, and in this case it was B. And if you want to back them off, flick up with the left stick. It's also worth noting that although pressing your corners in this blitz is a big risk, pressing successfully can also disrupt the routes at the line of scrimmage, which will give the blitz more time to get to the QB. The last coverage tip for this play is for the user. Because you are manned up to the running back, it is important to watch the running back in case he goes out for a route. If he does, it's your job to shut it down. But if he doesn't, you can drop back into coverage to help the secondary and lurk the QB for potential interceptions. Now let's talk about cover 4 drop. So now that we have the core blitz for the defense, we need a play where we can make it look like we are running the pinch buck 0 play, but actually we'll be dropping back players into coverage, which is why we will be using cover 4 drop out of the 3-4 formation, which is great against the run because of the safety run help, and it can eliminate the pass with 8 players dropping back into coverage. But to make this play look like pinch buck 0, you want to change the alignment to base. But to make it even more similar, you want to user one of the linebackers and put them over the A gap like we did in the pinch buck 0 play. This will give the opponent less of a tell for what play we are in because we are doing the same pre-snap adjustments every single play. Now for cover 4 drop, the first thing I do is either pinch the whole defense or press my defense. This will bring everybody in the secondary down, including the corners. And the reason these corners are better off playing down is because it gives them better leverage to guard corner routes and run with vertical or any deep routes like you see here. Now because cover 4 drop is mainly a medium and deep route prevention defense, you may want to make some adjustments to guard the underneath routes. You can do so by putting the curl flat defenders on a hard flat, by pressing Y and down with the right stick. This will help defend any quick short passes. And one quick tip is that if you want to put a cloud flat on the curl flat defenders instead of a hard flat, you can actually press Y, then up on the right stick after you put them on a hard flat, and then they will turn into a cloud flat. Cloud flats cover a little more depth and could guard out routes, curls, and some corner routes, opposed to hard flats, which only cover quick short passes near the line of scrimmage. Now you can also utilize zone drops in this play. Zone drops are useful for when you want a zone to drop to a certain point on the field. So if you want extra help to guard corner routes, you can put the curl flat zones on 20 to 25 yards. This will help guard the corner routes along with the deep quarter zone like you see in this play that turned into an interception. And you will see that the deep quarter was over the top of this corner route, and the curl flat defender with the 20-yard zone drop was underneath the corner route. So if the QB underthrew the ball, our curl flat zone drop at 20 yards would easily be able to make a play on the ball. So we have the corner routes on lock, over the top and underneath. And as the user in this play, you want to be one of the hook curl linebackers. Your goal is to take away any routes that go through the middle of the field, and then work your way outside for additional coverage help. So when running these two plays, pinch buck 0 and cover 4 drop, it's important to mix up the play calling, because when each play looks the exact same, your opponent will never know what one you're running, if you're bringing heat or dropping everybody back. Now because you cannot substitute safeties in the linebacker position in the 3-4 formation, it is important to have formations that can match teams with a lot of speed. So we will be looking at the formations dollar and dime. In dollar, you want to make sure to sub in safeties at the linebacker position so you can match up well against pass heavy sets. This way, you will be able to do more unique coverage setups by using hybrid defenses and cross manning. Cross manning is a way of disguising man defense setups by manning up receivers, tight ends, or running backs in the opposite direction of your players. Here's an example. In this play, I am in cover 4 drop in dollar. I decided that I wanted to cross-man Trayvon Diggs with the inside wide receiver, because if the inside wide receiver were to run a corner route, Diggs would already have outside leverage to guard the corner, so the wide receiver would just be running a route directly into my defensive back. Then I manned up the slot corner with the outside wide receiver and put my safety on a deep half. This way, I have a defender helping over the top instead of having him on a deep inside quarter, which would not protect the rest of the deep left part of the field. This would be considered a hybrid defense because we are mixing man coverage and zone coverage into one play. Now when the ball is snapped, you will see that the receivers did not run out routes or corner routes, but instead ran crossing routes. But because we are running a hybrid defense, the crossers ran right into our zones on the right side, while still having the 2 manned up DBs following the crossers. But because we lost our zone help on the side we cross-manned, it is the user's job to help with any crossing routes going to that side. So as soon as I saw Kelsey running across the field where I knew we had no help, I ran with him. And you will see everything was locked up on all sides of the field, and the QB threw an easy interception. Utilizing cross-manning and hybrid defense can not only benefit your coverage, but can completely screw up your opponent's reads. Now there's also a blitz that you can create out of cover 4 drop in dollar. In this case, you want to be sure that the alignment is on base. Then, when you are in the play, pinch the D-line and press your secondary. This will make the 2 curl flat defenders come towards the line, and these 2 players are the defenders that you want to put on a blitz. And you will see that even when the running back is blocking, we are able to still get pressure on the QB. But if the blitz doesn't come in, we still need to make sure we have solid coverage on the back end. In a trips formation like you see here, I will usually man up the backside linebacker with the single receiver. And you can also man up the corner with the running back if you think you'll be going out on a route. Now if you're not a fan of the man assignments, you can also leave the backside linebacker on his default zone or put him on a purple curl flat to help with potential corner routes. On the strong side though, you will be using the other linebacker. The goal here is to take away quick passes and to try and take away your opponent's first read. Now in dollar, I also run basic cover 2 man, but I want to show you an example of how you can optimize cover 2 man against certain offensive formations. In this play, I saw that the offense was in a trips formation to the boundary, and because there were 3 wide receivers on the short side of the field, I felt that it would be very tough to run any outbreaking route because of how condensed the formation was. And with my corners pressing, it would disrupt any route to the outside as well. So because there was a high chance that all 3 of these receivers were running an in-breaking route, I shaded my defense to the inside while using the blitzing linebacker to help with routes going to the middle of the field. And you will see that every receiver did in fact run an in-breaking route, which led right into our inside shaded corners, which locked every route up and turned into a big pick 6. And in case you need another blitz in your arsenal, we're gonna go over DB Blitz 0 in the dime formation. In this play, you wanna make sure to set the alignment to default. And when you get into the play, all you're gonna do is pinch the whole defense by pressing RB and down with the left stick. And then you're gonna slant your D-line inside by pressing left on the D-pad and down with the right stick. For you want to use the linebacker that is manned up on the running back. To make your life easier though, you can shade over to the side of the running back, but to optimize the blitz, hover over one of the defensive linemen or gaps and cover the running back if he goes out on a route. And you will see that in this blitz, you'll have instant pressure coming from the edges for big time disruptions and sacks. Now that is the full defensive scheme video. Let me know if you have any questions. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe because I'll be coming out with a lot more Madden content to improve your game. See you next video.